From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
It's Friday, March 8th, 2019, and it's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and just FYI, it's 1 week till my birthday. Here with me in our Orlando studios is, on the ones and twos, our illustrious engineer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, Tennessee, our senior editor, Tyler Huckabee.
Good morning.
And just down the street. Wow, that was a new one. Just down the street,
Special.
author, speaker, podcaster, cowgirl extraordinaire, Annie F. Downs.
Good morning, gents. Happy Friday.
We have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, David Curry, who's the president and CEO of Open Doors USA, joins us. He's here to talk to us about an unprecedented crackdown that's happening right now on the church in China that's actually really affecting young Christians, people your age. And it's really fascinating and heartbreaking to hear what's happening in China. He's going to come on later and tell us what's going on. But before we move the show along, I want to tell you that today's episode is brought to you by our partners at World Vision and their upcoming initiative, the Global 6K for Water.
Hey, can I
World
say
Vision-
something before you get into details, Cameron?
Oh, boy.
Yes.
There is a reason why my neighbors every morning this week have heard me screaming at full blast at 5 a.m. running from the house at full sprint. It's called training. It's called training.
Sounds terrible.
Night terrors.
Full sprint. Yeah. It's good
Early
night
morning
terrors,
night
but
terrors.
it's also, I've leveraged my night terrors into training.
World Vision's Global 6K for Water is a one-day event where people from all over the world walk and run 6K in their own neighborhoods to bring lasting clean water to children in need. Every step you take is one they won't have to. Now, why 6K and not a 5K, you may ask, Jesse? Well,
It's 1K better.
Well, Jesse, 6K is the average distance women and kids in the developing world have to walk for clean water. When you walk or run World Vision's Global 6K for Water, you provide life-changing clean water to one person in need through your registration fee. So no matter where you walk or run, you'll be celebrating lives changed. How cool is that? The event takes place May 4th. So you got a couple months. And I just want you to know our whole team is running it. And we'd love for you to run with
Wait, sorry.
us.
Our whole team?
Everybody, Relevance,
Right.
paid staff is all participating. Annie, you're optional. You can opt in if you want to. And we would love for you to join
I mean,
us.
I'm paid to be here, too.
I have
that's true,
already.
that's
I
true.
didn't know.
Hey, listen, I have already begun training because when I do things, I'm in it to win it. I'm not only setting out to beat everyone on our staff, by a wide margin, but anyone who joins Team Relevant, I plan on beating. I have started my
Wait,
training.
what day? Say the day again?
It's May 4th. Okay, so listen, but this is a
May
real
the 4th
thing.
be with
You
you.
can run or walk with us, whether you're here in Orlando, where we're going to do a local race, or across the country. You can join Team Relevant by visiting worldvision6k.org/relevant. Go do it. Join Team Relevant. We'll raise some money. We're going to help people get clean water around the globe. It's going to be a good day. And you can, my personal ask is, if you're very, very fast, join Team Relevant so Jesse's ego can be kept in check.
Now, listen, if you want a chance to show what you got, and let me say this is why people should be nervous, because the two injuries I incurred several weeks ago, because I did have a head start knowing about this, when I started my training at full blitz, which involved me pushing a large wheelbarrow full of rocks uphill before chopping a tree down. The hamstring is about 80% and the lower back's about 30%. So I will be full speed training once again in mere weeks, granted with a back and neck brace, but still bring it, people.
And in mere weeks, it'll be time for the race.
I do have a question about because none of us are there in Orlando.
Right.
So are we important enough to this endeavor that we're gonna do I need to start training?
Yes.
Do I need to make running to Orlando part of my training regimen?
So two things. One, you can join, the listeners can join Team Relevant and then run wherever they are. You don't have to have streets blocked off or whatever. You can just run on the sidewalks.
I mean, you can block the streets off if you want to.
I will say
That's
this. I got a traffic cone guy. And if you need some, just DM me and he's got get you a deal.
But wherever you are, you can join Team Relevant. We'll give you everything you need to, plot out the 6K route in your area, and then you and some friends can just do it, or you and your church can do it. You can all join Team Relevant. Or if you're ambitious, literally you can come down here to Orlando and run with us. And yes, Tyler, we will bring you down to Florida, and you
don't need to bring me. I will run. That's gonna be my warm up. It's just gonna get the blood flowing.
You're gonna Forrest Gump this thing, and you're going. You're gonna run.
Just run all the way down there.
I'll see you there, May 4th. Got it.
Sounds terrible.
We need to wrap up because I need to get going.
Listen, Tyler's the type of guy who starts off full sprint about 3Ks in. He's off on the side of the road, stretching out the hammies. I'm the type where I go full sprint too, but there is no stopping. I will let my legs explode before I stop that 6K.
I'm the guy who starts at a medium jog, about a mile in, take a little break, and then go back to medium jog, slower down again.
Here's the other thing too. I don't want to be beat. I go Mario Kart on these things. I'm flinging banana peels, little oil slicks, throwing portobello mushrooms at people. Don't come near me.
Portobellos.
Portobellos, you're rich.
Yeah,
You must be rich to just throw around portobellos.
Wow. You ever been hit in the face with a portobello mushroom by running?
No, my friends aren't that rich. We don't just throw around those fancy things.
I frisbee them right at you while running, a hefty pace. So it's like getting like a limp hand just slapping you across the face. That's what it feels like to have a portobello frisbee at you.
No, I hate running, and so if you listeners also hate running but want to be part of this and participate and raise some money for clean water for countries around the world, you can walk. You can walk too. It's not in Jesse's world, it's a race, and for the rest of us, it's a participation trophy. We just get out there, have a good time, and join us.
It depends on how much you care about the cause. I think
it depends on how much.
If it matters a lot to you, then you'll really give it your all.
If you get your self-worth like I do, which is making other people feel worse about themselves, then you will do what I'm doing, which is racing and throwing things at people. By throwing stuff at people.
All right. Well, that's it. Go sign up for Team Relevant at worldvision6k.org/relevant. There you go. Join us. It'll be a lot of fun. All right. We're moving the show along. As you know, we've been workshopping our new segment, The Hot List. Mm-hmm. And every week we've had a new jingle. We're 4 in. We want to round it out with a nice saucy 5th one.
Yeah.
And then next week,
Chandler, you're so talented.
We're gonna pick the perma jingle, the permanent Hot List jingle. So for our 5th installment of the Hot List jingle, here it is. It's the Hot
List. Tyler, can people vote? Can people vote on which one they like the most?
We'll set up a voting mechanism after next week's Friday show. Yeah,
Chandler, I'm disappointed that none of them have just been AC/DC saying, "For those about to rock, we salute you!" Boom, Hot List. Like that was mine, and I sent it to Chandler, and he immediately discarded it. And so I will be smoking him in the 6K, mocking him.
So there you go. That's a good one. I like that one.
Mushrooms at your face, Chandler.
I think next week's Hot List, when we wrap it all up, I think next week's Hot List is just each of the jingles. We just intro them, we talk about them, we give some context.
Coming in at number 5.
Yeah, we should do that. Yeah, I love that.
Coming in number 4, the one from 3 weeks ago.
There's not a lot going on. We'll just talk about music.
Here, listen, it's we're how many years in? That's it. We've covered it. The intersection of faith and culture. We've literally covered everything. Now we're just playing funny jingles we made. That's the podcast from here.
Coming in at number 4, the one from 2 weeks ago. Sorry. Okay, coming in at number 5. Yet another controversial comic book about Jesus is in the works. The other one got scrapped, so fill in the void. Here's another one. It's a new series from Image Comics called Jesus Freak. It's based on a cruise that goes wrong. No. The announcement comes after DC Comics canceled a series called Second Coming, also about Jesus. And while Second Coming seemed like it was at least interested in exploring how Jesus might fare in the modern world, Jesus Freak is remaking the Son of God at a much more conceptual level, turning Jesus of Nazareth into a barbarian warrior.
Let me stop you there. What could go wrong?
Sign me up.
Oh, man. The artist behind the series explained Jesus Freak is less inspired by any strict religious traditions, Noken, and is instead more concerned with exploring the unique tension that exists between depicting a mythical figure and a historical figure, a tension that's compounded when, for many, they're considered the same person. It's a chance to indulge in a specific style of hard pulp storytelling that we think perfectly fits this material.
That's what I think about when I think about the gospel. Hard pulp.
Like many edgy comics, the series is violent, but the author says it's meant as a metaphor for ideological conflicts Jesus faced. He said, quote, the so-called historical Jesus certainly would have lived a life of conflict, preaching certain beliefs at a time when doing so would have gotten you killed. The fact that Jesus Freak presents that character's journey in such an obvious genre setting meant showing a level of violence that we felt was true to both the genre and the character.
Here's an example. When Jesus says, listen, it is better for a man to remove his own eye than to continue sinning. Then he actually reaches and just, gouges someone's eyes out. It's crazy. It is just, real hard pulp. So it's like Reservoir Dogs. It's Reservoir Dogs meets the 12 Disciples.
Jesus Freak will officially release on March 20th. So coming up.
Knock on wood.
Unless Christians get it canceled first, which is what they did on the last one. But hey, no, if it's coming out March 20th, they're already printing these suckers. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That print bill is going to come due. They're releasing it either way. That's what I think.
It doesn't matter how many.
I kind of wonder if the same people who are like that, who got mad about that first one, like a kind of like comedy style Jesus, are going to see this and like, that's more what I'm talking about. The Mark Driscoll types, who are like, yeah, that's my Jesus. A football player, he would rather cut off heads, bust some cats. That's like they'll be all into the metaphor on this one. Like, well, it's kind of true, it's. I feel like this is going to be a little
voice too good.
Yeah. I was going to say,
so
I picture
gritty.
this more as like Image Comics, like reaching, like telling DC, hold my beer. I'm making Jesus into a barbarian Quentin Tarantino character.
Yeah, Tyler, your toxic masculinity voice is way too good.
It's very. Yeah, you've been in this world for a while, buddy.
Masculinity voice. I say Friday night voice.
I say men's retreat. I say men's retreat. Steaks. Football. Get real.
Steaks. We're doing steaks, we're doing some brewskis. We're reading Jesus comics.
Wow.
I wonder if the 250,000 people who protested the other Jesus comic are going, oh, wait, this is the one we hate. I wonder if they're like, oh, can we get our vote back and move it toward this one?
Right,
They hit the ceiling of outrage on the wrong comic.
On the wrong
comic.
Hey, there's a life lesson in there.
Yeah,
Never peak early. Save some
Save your
outrage.
anger.
There's always something to be angrier at.
You can only go to 10 once, so make sure you wait for the right time.
That's good.
That's a good line. You can only go to 10 once. That's a good point.
That's
I don't know if it's true, but it is a good
yeah.
I mean, if you watch the evening news, you can go to 10 pretty much every day if you want to.
You really can.
They do.
Yeah. Tucker Carlson's stuck at 10. He's there so long there's no 9.
He's redlining.
He does what I do every morning, which is run from his house screaming, but he's not training for a 6K. That's just how he lives his life.
All right, coming in at number 4, Lauren Daigle brought the house down this week on Jimmy Kimmel Live. She headlined the show's Mercedes-Benz concert series and actually played 2 songs on the late night show. Here's a clip of This Girl, which is Lauren Daigle.
But you seen me all along. Maybe I'm the last to know it when I've gone too far. Yet I'm always by your side.
Hey, good for her. She got 2 songs on Kimmel.
That's my very favorite song on that album, too. I love it so much. I think that's the best one.
I hear You Say all the time. Because you played You Say, too, like the other single.
Yes.
I literally hear that like every day. Like
all over the place.
Just like, at the gym, the grocery store, it's always playing You Say. Good for Lauren. Like I said, I don't
You go to a gym where they play You Say?
I don't
really?
know. Yeah. I mean, it
pumped up.
That's a very mellow gym you go to.
I'm pumped up. I worship the Lord with Lauren Daigle, and I'm doing bicep curls.
I should say it's all rhythmic gymnastic calisthenics that I'm into.
I wish that
it's like
was
a pure
true.
bar type of thing. It's a lot of just throwing your legs up on high bars and just holding them there for a while, stretching them out. Which after the damage I did after the critical damage I did to my hamstrings on day one of 6K training, I've really embraced this calisthenic low impact thing. So yeah, it's all Lauren Daigle and it's all beautiful stretches. That's it.
Oh, man. All right. Coming in on the hot list at number 3 this week, Mindy Kaling has a new movie about what it's like being a female writer in Hollywood, and it broke a financial record when it debuted at Sundance. It's called Late Night, and she wrote it, produced, and starred in it, and it's going to drop on Amazon Studios in June. It's about a diversity hire in a talk show's writer's room. And it's inspired by Mindy's experience as one of the only female writers on staff at The Office. It also stars Emma Thompson, John Lithgow, and Amy Ryan. The movie made a big splash at the Sundance Film Festival this year, setting a record for the most money paid for a movie's U.S. distribution rights when Amazon ponied up $13 million. The previous record was set by The Big Sick, which sold for $12 million.
Mindy.
Amazon Studios chief said it's an inclusive workplace comedy that reinvents all the tropes about women. We too rarely get to see female characters like this, complex, flawed, and unapologetically ambitious. Very cool.
Good for Mindy.
That's so cool. Yeah. I love her.
Mindy feels like one of those people who's, even though she's very, very famous, like she's a household name, she's also kind of not famous enough considering the sheer level of talent that she has as a triple threat actor, writer, director. Like she just seems in like one of those once in a generation abilities that comes through, and she still isn't quite recognized as much as she should be for them.
Do you think it's because she wasn't ever on Saturday Night Live? Because I feel like she's as talented maybe as Tina Fey, but that seems to be like
SNL. Yeah, she would have made sense on it. But she also kind of she didn't have to like do the workhorse thing of paying her dues on what looks like a very stressful job. Just got to jump right to the writing, directing, acting part on The Office, which I'm sure.
Right, which I wonder if that's why she doesn't have the cred I wonder if that's why she's lacking that publicly to people, is that feels like a baseline for a lot of people who end up being a triple threat.
Yeah.
In comedy.
I often refer to myself as a triple threat. Woodwinds, billiards, and pre-hamstring injury leg press. It's a skill set that's very unique.
Just the
and I'm waiting for Amazon to offer me $12 million for my services.
You're also, I mean, you're recognizing your time in a lot of ways, Missy, but sometimes I feel like it's just not quite where it should be.
It's just hard to find that perfect fit.
It's hard to feel bad for people who are already very famous like yourself, but
right.
It's also,
you understand the dilemma I'm in. You
don't complain about it. I appreciate that.
I'm sitting here thinking about your question, Tyler, about like why she doesn't get the dues. And I'm wondering if, people who watch, her shows like The Mindy Show or saw her as a bit character on The Office, like we never really saw her have like laugh out loud comedy moments like Tina Fey did. We saw her every week, and you become this fan of like, oh my gosh, she can do so much. And we haven't seen Mindy's range. Maybe that's it. And
I thought she was on the Mindy Project. I had a lot of LOLs on the Mindy Project.
That was a great show. I loved that show. You're right. I mean, it was really smartly written. Maybe people don't realize that she is writing it. Maybe they don't realize she's directing. Maybe
it didn't seem like she was ever quite heralded as. I bet there's a lot of people who thought of her as the star of the Mindy Project, but did not know that she was also the creative force behind it.
Yeah, like she got given a show.
Well, and maybe this will be an opportunity for people to really kind of experience her full range, like we're mentioning, like The Big Six with Kumail Nanjiani. Like he's great in Silicon Valley. He's hilarious in all of his appearances in Portlandia. But it wasn't until you saw The Big Sick where it's like, which he also like wrote and starred in and produced, where you're like, wow, this guy really has depth in his character, and him. It made me appreciate him, who I feel like similarly has maybe a less high profile, but similar, kind of comedic opportunities as Mindy. Maybe this movie will give her an opportunity to kind of show that deeper range.
You got a little people alert just now. Kylie Jenner is officially the world's youngest billionaire at age 21. Forbes
Speaking
just
of people who
announced.
aren't recognizing their time for just how talented.
Speaking of triple threats,
Triple threats. Billionaire. The list goes on and on. The
Can
other
I-
two things.
Can I ask
Yeah,
how she's
billionaire.
made $1
That is
billion?
something else, isn't it?
What is
Makeup.
that? Makeup?
Yeah, she went into makeup, and that's where most of her money is made.
Yeah.
So she owns.
Thank you, Chandler.
She
Okay,
owns her own
Chandler.
makeup company.
Yeah, can we cut away and see the guy liner that Chandler has ordered from Kylie Jenner?
She does have
It's
good
called
makeup.
Inner
I'll give her that.
Darkness
I
is
like
the
it.
shade.
I like the stuff.
Inner dark.
Chandler's wearing Inner Darkness as his guy liner.
Kylie.
It's yeah. He paid $75 for a very, very small tube of it.
All right, hot list coming in at number 2. John Legend is creating a new social justice YouTube series called Can't Just Preach. Each installment of the documentary series is about activists and justice, and it contains a direct call to action component. Viewers can click or find a link in every video that gives them more information about the cause being discussed and lets them donate if they want to. John Legend himself announced he'd be donating $10,000 personally to each featured cause. The first episode spotlighted the change-making actions of Sabrina Fulton, the mother of the late Trayvon Martin, and founder of the Trayvon Martin Foundation, which is out to end gun violence. Last year, John told Relevant how faith in his background inspires his work as an activist, no matter what the political or social implications are. He said, I think it's important that we continue to examine Jesus' words and not to project what our own political motivations are onto him, but to actually pay attention to what he actually said, what he said about the poor, what he said about loving one another, and all the things that he preached. I think sometimes we lose sight of that. I think we'd be wise to really pay attention to what Jesus said and not try to project our own political views onto his words. Here's a clip of John explaining his vision for Just Can't Preach.
You watch the news day in and day out, and you start to ask yourself, how can you be a part of making a change? How can you do more than just talk about it? Do you stand up and look for ways to get involved? That's really what Preach is about. It's a call to everybody that your voice is loud enough and you're strong enough to make a change. It's up to us to get up and take action. So, for the first time ever in collaboration with YouTube, we will have a donation button under each community leader video for you to donate to their charity directly. So watch their story and be inspired as I was during this whole process. I'll personally be donating $10,000 to each of the charities involved. And I want to thank all the community leaders for inspiring people to take action. And thank you guys for being part of this journey with me.
He sounds really cool even when he's just talking.
Yeah, right.
That's right. I
Talking
love
about
John
YouTube
Legend.
videos.
Yeah, he's talking about YouTube videos. I'm like,
You know how
this
hard
is
it
the
is to
coolest
record on
person on the
YouTube?
planet.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I wish it's cool that they added that functionality to YouTube. Can we put a donate button under our YouTube videos? That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rehabbing a pretty catastrophic hamstring injury, and the bills are adding up because I've gone the alternative medicine route, which insurance wants no part of. So I would appreciate it.
Jesse, you can just start posting videos of your rehab and then have a button where people go, we need to pay to help
Yeah,
this guy.
I don't know that YouTube would be comfortable with my rehab methods, but I'll give it a shot. You know,
I've gone into crippling debt getting ready for a men's breakfast is coming up at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. And I got to say, I was not expecting bacon. Who knew bacon could run you into such debt? But you know, for the kind of guys I'm planning on serving, the amount of bacon and black coffee they need to get the morning started off on the right foot, make sure they're really connected with the Holy Spirit. I don't have any money.
I feel like those are like prime rib and egg kind of guys,
And listen,
steak and egg kind of guys.
I'm aware of how deep this hamstring injury is, and I do not think YouTube would be comfortable with me visualizing the methods of trying to get this thing back. But I got 6K to run. I got to do what it takes.
All right, coming in number 1 this week on the hot list. Jaden Smith is teaming up with a church to provide clean water to Flint, Michigan. 4 years after the city's water crisis first began, residents of Flint still have to wait in blocks-long lines to obtain drinkable water. The state stopped providing water bottles to residents in April, claiming the city's water was clean enough to drink. The residents disagree. But now Jaden Smith's company, Just Water, has teamed up with a local church and several nonprofit organizations to come up with a solution for the residents. Previously, the First Trinity Missionary Baptist Church has given more than 5 million bottles of water to residents. That's crazy. Just Water's Water Box is a filtration system that removes lead and contaminants from water. The church will give residents clean water from the Water Box every Thursday. Jaden's mother, Jada Pinkett Smith, is also making a large donation to find a sustainable long-term solution. That's awesome. Look at that.
Good for them. I love that. I mean, Jaden Smith is an interesting celebrity. I think he just always says interesting, kind of weird things. But for him to just be like, hey, I have a platform, there's a problem, we're going to try to find a solution for it. And I love that he partnered with the church to do it. I don't know what his own kind of faith story is, or what his belief system is as it pertains to faith. But even just recognizing the church as a valuable community institution, I think is, kind of says a lot about, the efforts that church has already done, giving away 5 million bottles of water since the crisis has started.
That's crazy.
I love that they're doing the short-term solution through this water box, thing that can clean water and provide clean water. And then also that the family's also working toward, finding long-term sustainable solutions as well. That's really great.
I think when people think about Jaden and Willa, they think about, they wear kind of weird clothes, and they've been known to kind of go off on some philosophical tangents in interviews sometimes. And it's not surprising that they're a little weird. They were raised in a very weird, a very weird household. They had a very unusual growing up experience. But what is surprising and is really great is that they both seem very, very invested in justice causes. And they've always been very mindful of those things. And that's not something that you can say for a lot of child stars. So that speaks, I think, to just how that they're uncommonly bright and interested in other things. And if they wear some weird clothes along the way, then who cares?
Tyler, it is very close-minded of you to call them weird just because Chandler's wearing guy liner like Jaden. He just, it's not nice.
It's a look.
Weird is the new normal. Don't hear me say this isn't a pejorative. This isn't a pejorative. This is a
weird is the new normal.
I'm wearing. You can't see it now, but I'm wearing Jaden's new line of clothing, and just underneath, like from the waist down, and I can't show you because it's not really work appropriate. It violates the relevant guidelines.
Let me just say this: I'm wearing a similar outfit, but it's more for hamstring, mobility purposes. Because I gotta have for the exercises I'm doing to get this on track, I need full range. Of
Jesse's wearing the Jaden Smith collection kimono in the race.
Just a lot of high kicks to start the morning. Get this hamstring back. I got 6K to run, people.
Hey, Chandler, are you going to run the 6K with us?
We'll see.
Cameron,
that's exactly the Chandler answer.
Hey, listen, I have an actual question for Chandler right now. And let me finish the question before you answer it. Chandler, I want to know when the last time you have run is. And I'm not talking about gone jogging. I'm talking about had any need to walk to go any distance at a pace above walking. I'm talking you could have run out of the car into the house in the rainstorm. Right. I'm not talking about run around the block. When is the last time your pace has been above that of a brisk stroll?
I had to run across the street recently.
I have a hard time even believing you.
Yeah, I'm with
curious.
You,
I totally believe you.
I think it could have. I think if someone gave me an over under of 2 years that Chandler has broken out into what most people would consider a run, I would say it's definitely been more than 2 years.
I would agree.
Chandler, why is Jesse roasting your physical health? I don't understand.
I'm not roasting his physical health. I'm saying he's very chill, and I just have a hard time seeing his level of chill rise to that.
Speaking out of an injury,
to need to run. I'm not saying anything.
Well, this is perfect, Jesse. Okay, so for the Team Relevant World Vision 6K, okay, Jesse's leading the one pack, the runners who are in it to win it. That's
Team
Jesse's
A1.
group. I'm gonna lead the silent majority pack where we're just jogging and we're not getting our heart rate too high. You know what I'm saying? And then Chandler leads the people who are just there for a nice time. You know, and
Chandler, I think you should try to beat Jesse. I think that's the real next move. I would like to see with Jesse's got an injury. He's got a bad hammy.
That's true.
And Chandler only runs across the street when he's getting hit by a car.
Chandler,
so what happens if they race for 6K?
So what we want to do is we have to put a car behind Chandler at all times to keep him going.
Listen,
yeah.
If we want to do a gentleman's wager here, Chandler, I would give you a 1K head start. And
Chandler, you've got to do it.
I
You're
would
going to
literally-
get a 1K
I would
head
literally
start.
give you a
Water.
1K
No,
head
no,
start.
1K, that means that you're 1/6 faster than him. You're going to be way more than
Further
1/6
along, yeah.
faster than.
That's a
than-
long
You don't
head start.
know,
A full
Chandler.
K.
Head start.
I'm
A
okay.
full K.
No,
Chandler, do it.
Chandler's back there.
I
they
got
have
nothing to prove.
No, right. His group has bagels. You know,
Yeah,
they're there for a nice morning.
Yeah.
We're raising money for people. It's a
There's
good,
like a guy
good
wearing
endeavor.
Heelys. Yeah.
A mom in a stroller. You know, that's in Chandler's group.
Yeah.
That's Chandler's group. He doesn't
All
care.
are welcome.
Yeah.
In my group.
Oh, there you go. All are welcome. Jesse's group is going to be like 4 people, and I'm going to have a bunch of people.
I really wanted
And they will all
Jesse
be
and Chandler
having
to race.
mushrooms thrown at them frequently throughout the race.
But Chandler's got to get that blue shell. Blue shell,
Yeah.
like that's that
the
little like
shockwave
affirmative
one.
action situation they
Right.
do with Mario Kart.
You can't stay in the lead too long in that game. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
you
it's
got to
very
time it just
frustrating.
right. Just like you're
Very
going to have to,
frustrating.
Jesse, because I'm going to be at your heels. I'm going to be at
That's
your heels,
right.
and then last second,
I'm
boom.
gonna be like, Tyler, my hamstring, help me, help me, help me. And then he does, and I push him on the ground, throw a
Right.
banana peel at him, and then run to the finish.
All right. Well, that'll do it for. Stay tuned. Up next, David Curry joins us.
Don't take much to have some fun. Grab your shades and we'll do some people watching. Keep all your designer drugs. I just wanna smoke your love. We've got something. People watching us.
You're listening to Small Pools. The song is People Watching, which is what I like to do at Small Pools. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Another Sky with Apple Tree. Well, today's episode is brought to you by Blinkist. Being able to practice mindfulness every day is something we all want to achieve. Sometimes it can be really hard when we're overwhelmed with work and other aspects of life. There's an app I highly recommend which might help you to be more mindful every day. It's called Blinkist. Blinkist is the only app that takes the best key takeaways, the need-to-know information from thousands of nonfiction books, and condenses them down to just 15 minutes so you can read or listen to it. Blinkist is made for busy people like you who want to get the main points of books quickly without reading the whole book. There's an audio feature as well, which makes it so easy to finish even up to like 4 books a day while you're on the go. 8 million people are using Blinkist right now, and it has a massive and growing library from self-help to business, health to history books. Right now, I'm actually reading Reality Is Not What It Seems, The Journey to Quantum Gravity by Carlo Rivoli. And I just did My Morning Routine by Benjamin Spall and 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. It's an interesting selection that they have. There's a ton that you can check out there at Blinkist. Right now, Blinkist is offering Relevant Podcast listeners a special deal. Go to Blinkist.com/relevant to start your free 7-day trial. That's BLINKIST.com/relevant, VANT, for those of you who can't spell relevant, to start your free 7-day trial. That's Blinkist.com/relevant. David Curry is the president and CEO of Open Doors USA. There's a new and unprecedented crackdown taking place in China right now, as the government is tightening its restrictions on religious liberty, shutting down churches, jailing pastors, and even implementing innovative tech to find and keep track of young Christians. We did a feature on this in the new issue of Relevant. And for that piece, we looked at what the Chinese government is doing and how the church is responding. Tyler, you spoke with David Curry about what's going on, and tell us about it.
All right. So in speaking to David, one of the things I was really interested in as I was researching this article was the idea that I had in my mind that there's sort of 2 churches in China. There's the underground church, which is not state sanctioned. And then there's the more sort of mainstream Christian church in China, which is more willing to abide by the strict Chinese laws around religious liberty. And that had sort of been my assumption based on my limited understanding before I started writing this article. But David sort of corrected me on that assumption and added a little bit of nuance that I wasn't aware of it, as he explains here.
Here's how I would describe it. There's the body of Christ. There's one body there. There are churches that are licensed, and then there are churches that have grown organically. Some of them started in the underground movement, but all of them are lawfully are full of lawful citizens who are who are an important part of the China, of China. So they're not. It's not to say that they're even unknown to the government. So now the Chinese government is trying to, in our research and our experience, the Chinese government is trying to bring the entire movement of Christianity in line with their governmental purposes and ideologies.
Tyler, one thing that's crazy about that is, the government of China essentially trying to dictate theology, dictate the social implications of Jesus's teachings to kind of fit the needs of the Chinese government is concerning on a lot of levels. But I feel like, especially just for some perspective, one thing that I think we've covered over the years, that soon China will be home to more Christians than any other country in the world. So we're talking
100 million large right now, estimated, because obviously we have no way of knowing for sure. But it is a huge population of Christians there, which is why the Chinese government's crackdown has escalated under President Xi in recent years. They are concerned because there are more Christians in China than there are members of the Communist Party over there. And that if you want to have the sort of government control that China does, then the church poses a really big problem for that. And where one reason that we at Relevant were really interested right now, and Jesse, I think we've talked about this a little bit offline, is the young Christians. That this is a very, very young movement in China, and China, and as a way of sort of combating this, has started in some provinces adding age restrictions on churches and parachurch organizations, almost like we would think of as a bar here in the States. You can't go to these if you're under a certain age because they're concerned, to use their language, about the influence that these teachings would have on a young, unformed mind. And David explained a little bit about what that looks like over there.
In the Henan province, for example, Henan, they have totally banned anybody and are strictly enforcing it. But they're not. That's not the only province. I mean, there's lots of them where this has been passed down and it's being enforced strictly. This goes to one of your earlier questions: why, the sophistication of China and why this is such a big problem. But China now has rolled out and is testing facial recognition technology in churches to see, is there anybody under the age of 18 here? Who are these people showing up? This kind of surveillance and invasion of a sacred place, the sanctuary of a church, is a real problem.
I feel like the word, it's almost become cliched, but it seems accurate when you're talking about facial recognition technology installed into churches. It does seem very Orwellian, like the government literally being able to look at using facial recognition technology to create presumably some sort of database of not just Christians, but the ages of Christians and where they're attending places of worship and who they're worshiping with.
And that's what I think was sort of something that this conversation with David helped correct for me, was this idea that I think when we think about Christian persecution, we think of it in very old school Fox's Book of Martyrs style, or at least I do, like pitchforks and torches and dogs and boots. And David was clear that does still happen in China. These aren't mutually exclusive, but China is obviously a very advanced country. They have technology. They're ahead of the States in many of their technological advancements, and they are employing that towards cracking down on rogue churches in China that don't play by the rules. Pastors are being thrown in prison. If you don't use the state approved version of the Bible that they want you to use, and like we talked about, if you're just too young, they don't think you're old enough yet to handle the sort of teachings that the church offers, then they want to know who you are and they want to keep tabs on you. And there are a lot of people in solitary confinement right now because they've violated those rules. Sure. Because they violated those rules. And he explained a little bit more about what that dichotomy looks like in this part of the conversation.
Because China has the technology, it has the advancement, and it has the means through government, owning every part of the governmental system to impose it on people, yes. But it's also those things. It's at the church in Beijing that I mentioned, where they had the surveillance, they roll up in vans police get out, they shut it down. Same with Pastor Wang Yi, who was arrested in December in his church in Beijing. They roll up, they'll arrest people, 160 people. Some of them are still in solitary confinement. Their crime is they said, Pastor Wang Yi, you'll be familiar with his story, but what was his crime? He wrote a letter that said, we're not going to allow the church to change our theology, or the government to change our theology. This is a movement about Jesus, and it's going to remain that. So, I mean, they're using both technological methods and old school mob enforcement.
Tyler, what, a clip like that's so startling, for a couple of reasons. But one, I mean, you have a pastor here that objects to the government literally changing theology of the church. And he does it. He expresses his objection in a very peaceful way, which is the form of a written letter, not threats, not taking, big crowds to the streets. And, a van rolls up, takes him away, and he's placed in solitary confinement. To me, it really puts in perspective the quote unquote Christian persecution that, Christians complain about in this country, where, it's like, oh, well, a TV show, made fun of a Christian character in a way that, or depicted a Christian character in a way
put him in nerdy glasses.
And it's like, no, this type of Christian persecution is real, not just in countries that have, radical arms of, religions and sects that are directly opposed to Christianity, but also in a country like China that is employing the tools of government and social intimidation to shut down or bend churches to their will. It's extremely concerning.
I was talking to a friend of mine here about this, and he immigrated here from China about 6 years ago. He's not a Christian. Just asking him his opinions on some of the things that I'd talked about and read about as I was researching this article. And his I don't want to say he was c'est la vie about it, because he wasn't. He said that many people over in China would agree that it's a problem. They don't like the idea of religious persecution in China. They don't consider it a good thing. But he compared it sort of to gun violence here in the States, where it's sort of what are you going to do about it? Like, we can't not have these sort of laws. Like, it'd be total anarchy if we just didn't have any sort of rules about this. And it put it in a perspective that I probably hadn't considered before, about the ways that these things can become normalized in different countries, and they can end up being taken for granted in some ways, which is what's happening in China. And I'm glad people like David Curry and the work that they're doing over there to try to keep people's flags up about how this is going down.
Well, to read more about this, we go really in depth on a feature in the current issue of Relevant, which you can view in its entirety at relevantmagazine.com, or you pick it up at newsstands nationwide. And don't forget, right now, if you subscribe at relevantmagazine.com/podfan, you can get the magazine the first 6 months for only $6. Go check it out. The March issue of Relevant. Stay tuned. Up next, your feedback.
There are children in every country who are struggling, suffering, and sometimes dying from not having basic resources for their health, education, and more. Because International believes that their products can change that. Innovative products like a shoe that can expand 5 sizes and pop-up mosquito nets can help kids live healthier, attend school more often, and become more confident. Learn more at becauseinternational.org/podcast.
You were gone in my cell phone too.
You're listening to Boy Pablo. The song is Feeling Lonely. Okay, it's time for your feedback. Last week, we got talking about Chan Chan's new tattoos. And
he tattooed the eyeliner on. He was such a big fan of
Did you hear
Tyler's.
all this? That while you went to California, everybody thought you went just to get tattoos.
I did.
yeah. So we wanted to know the most awkward interaction you've had with your parents. We just, we got asking Chan if if mom and dad have ever seen his tattoos and the awkward situation
Can I ask one clarifying question? Let's say there's a Strang family beach day. Chandler, are you in the long sleeve all day in the water, in the shirt, t-shirt, and all that?
I don't really do the beach, so I can just avoid that whole thing.
Yeah, I don't think you guys have seen how pale.
Answer.
I don't think you've seen how pale Chandler is.
It's true.
That's why the guy liner pops as much as it does.
It's worth every dime of that $75 for that teeny tiny tube. No wonder she's a billionaire. It was like one application for $75.
So we want to know your most awkward interaction with your parents, and you all did not disappoint. You hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, and you posted on the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Here are a few of our favorites.
Okay, mine is from Andrew, and it's about
Andrews? I was going to say this is a gem.
This is a real gem.
This is like a short movie. I would watch this adaptation.
Yeah, this is Andrew, and he's talking about his creepy dad. They decide to have a family movie night, Andrew and his parents, and they rent the film starring Mickey Rourke, The Wrestler. Now, many of you have seen The Wrestler, but you also may remember that Alyssa Milano's character works at an establishment. I'm not going to get into too many details.
An adult establishment.
An adult establishment that is shown graphically at one scene in the film. I'll pick up where Andrew takes it.
Yeah, read it word for word.
Yeah, it's so funny.
As soon as that scene began, my mom started screaming, "Turn it off! Turn it off! Turn it off!" Mind you, all caps. And my dad kind of kept watching while slowly reaching across the couch for the remote. And she was like, all caps, "You're not moving fast enough." He started turning the volume down instead of changing the channel or fast forwarding. And she yelled, "That's not helping. I said off." All caps. After maybe 20 seconds, he fast forwarded the scene and we watched the whole rest of the movie. I felt pretty uncomfortable that night. I could imagine so, Andrew. Your dad going for the accidentally going for the volume instead of the fast forward. Eyes locked on the screen.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I liked Lydia's. She said, in high school, my dad found a Mercy Me album in my car, which is a Christian group, but he sincerely questioned my salvation because, quote, "drums are the heartbeat of the devil."
That's a new one. That phrasing is new to me, but I kind of like it.
I was going to say that if I had a metal band, it would be called Heartbeat of the Devil, the album, because that is a very rad name.
Pretty metal.
I mean, she had to hide her CCM records from her parents. And she also used to download pop music from LimeWire and rename each song as a hymn so that when her parents went check through her iPod, they wouldn't know what she was actually listening to.
No way. That's great.
Also, did your parents scroll through your iPod back in the day?
Never. My parents did not care about anything that I owned. Yeah. I went to a friend's house one time. He's like, "Here, I guess I should give you this. My mom's going to find it anyway." It was like Green Day's Dookie. I was like, okay, cool. Free CDs. Like I said, I was the type that when like a youth group or one of those things would have like, they would bring the dumpster and you could throw all your secular music in and they would like crush it or burn it later. I would do a round and just fill up a grab bag prior to that. Just take it all home. My parents take care. Joshua said that his father was a big fan. I didn't even know this was a TV show, but it was Damon Wayans' television program, My Wife and Kids. I think it was like ABC.
Yeah.
And I think it was pretty family friendly.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And so Joshua's dad, evidently this was like his favorite sitcom for some reason. And he saw that Damon Wayans would be performing at a local comedy club on Father's Day weekend. So what a better gift for his father, the big Damon Wayans, My Wife and Kids fan, to see him perform stand-up live. What Joshua was not aware of is that Damon Wayans had recently gone through a very nasty divorce and was very single at the time. And very angry and very willing to talk about his willingness to be single and ready to mingle. A very, very vocal and raunchy set proceeded the entire time. Joshua said, "I kept trying to sneak a peek at my parents' expression. They did not laugh through any of it, and their discomfort made me feel even worse. Afterwards, my dad looks at me and hears the line. He says, 'Well, That was an interesting Father's Day present.
Come on, Dad.
So cringy.
You didn't know.
That's awful.
Here's the other thing he adds. Over 10 years have passed and I still feel uncomfortable when that TV show comes on. Does that TV show still come on? Where are you living?
Or you just see David,
where
maybe it's just like triggers something.
my wife and kids reruns are on syndication, you know?
I can relate to Katie. Katie said, I got a tattoo of my old apartment number on my arm before Christmas. My parents had no idea. Made it from Christmas morning, forgot to put long sleeves on to avoid the awkward tattoo confrontation before exiting my room. She remembered, but it was too late. A couple hours later, Dad says, so Katie, let's see that new tattoo on your arm. My family sat and watched me take off my hoodie to reveal the ink. Hands down, one of the most awkward moments of my life. I spent the next 30 minutes explaining the story behind the tattoo and answering questions like, who's going to hire you with a tattoo on your arm? Is that really a thing anymore?
Why do
I'm
you
sure there are
tattoo
some
your
jobs.
apartment complex number on your arm?
She
That
forgot
seems-
where she so often went into the wrong apartment that she was like, what which one is mine?
All the apartments. Yeah, sure.
She just gets X's on them like old boyfriends, but instead it's apartment numbers.
Yeah, is not hiring because of tattoos even a thing? Like, yeah, I guess if you work at, if you're applying for a job at like the, old timey Southern Baptist church as the organist or something.
There's a lot of
maybe you'll
public
have
schools
a
where you can't have
Schools,
tattoos visible.
Maybe a school.
Yeah,
I mean,
It depends
I
what the
didn't know
tattoo
that.
is.
Okay, I mean, along the tattoo lines, I mean, a bunch of the stories were around that. Kiki said, several years after graduating college, paying my own bills, I got a tattoo. I went home for a wedding, and my mother saw it as I was leaving for the wedding. She yanked my dress down, pointed at it, and asked what it was. When I confirmed it was a tattoo, she dramatically threw her hands up and said, "You are disowned. I'm cutting you off." I just stood there a moment silently. Eventually, I said, okay, and left. I think she wanted a bigger reaction from me than that. But I think that's funny. I'm cutting you off, and, it's years after she's been supporting herself.
Right.
On your wedding day, I'm cutting you off. Yeah, that's kind of how it works, Mom.
Yeah, that's the
idea.
science.
But it's funny, like, she reminds me of like the Pete Davidson character on SNL. Like, I don't know if you guys watch SNL this week. Where he's like, okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Sorry.
Have I told y'all the story
What?
about when I got my ears double pierced? No. I got my ears double pierced my senior year of high school after my mom had told
Pretty
me not to. And the next morning I woke up to her pulling them out of my head.
What?
That is how
That's a
she
wow.
was.
She can't do
she
that?
was pulling the earrings out of my
Like
head.
reverse
Yeah.
Sleeping
I mean, she
Beauty,
wa-
like trying to take your. Oh,
it was brutal. It was brutal. That was the last time I did that kind of thing in the Downs household.
Oh, man.
But I know it was really she really meant it when she
So
said
it wasn't
not
a
to do it.
conversation. This is
No,
happening.
she like had me by the earring. It was real. It was a real day for us.
Wow. All right. Well, there's a lot more stories where those come from. You should go read them. They're great. That's it for last week's feedback. It's time for this week's
editorial question of the week.
Well, earlier in the show, we were talking about the World Vision 6K and Team Relevant, and we're doing this, and we want you to join us. And when we were off mic just now, coming up with this week's question of the week, Chandler goes, "When was the last time you run?" That's my Chandler impression. When was the last time you ran? So anyway, that's basically the question. We want to know the last time you, no, not that the Global 6K is actually a marathon or anything like that. Because again, you can walk, you can bring a stroller if you want to, you can chill. It's about raising money for clean water. But when was the last time you set a goal to push yourself out of your comfort zone and do kind of a big, athletic activity that is something you had to prepare for and train for, and it maybe scared you a little bit the way that it scares Chandler.
And maybe something went horribly wrong. If that happened, we want to know too. Like, can I give an example of that?
Tell us
Like-
what
Oh,
it
of
is,
course.
and tell us what happened. That's what we want to know. What was it, and what happened? How did
Like
it
an
go? All right,
Ironman
tell us, Jesse.
competition or a muddy tough mud or whatever they call it.
Cameron and I, college, it was you had to run a mandatory 5K once a semester to prove that you were
Sorry.
educating the whole person, mind, body, and soul. Most of the students would just gut it out that morning and not train at all. And I had a buddy.
Didn't they talk about that on This American Life? Isn't that in one of the episodes?
Possibly.
Are you requiring people to run? Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a major part. You had to take a physical education course every semester, and the fun run, as they called it, at the end of the semester, a 3-mile fun run was a major part of your grade.
Yeah. So I had a buddy that did no training, and his philosophy was, I'm not worried about like my legs or my physical shape. I'm only worried about my energy level dipping. And so he decided to get up very early that morning and eat an enormous breakfast. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Just an enormous breakfast, thinking it'll just carry him through the race.
No.
Like he wasn't worried about the cardiovascular. He wasn't worried about legs. Like I said, just that his energy level would dip.
Like
Eats
Michael
an enormous
eating the
breakfast.
Alfredo before the
Yeah,
race.
exactly. But like eggs and sausage and everything.
Like my
you
men's
know?
breakfast.
Coffee and lots of coffee.
I like your men's breakfast. Exactly.
Lots of
like
coffees.
Tyler's toxic masculinity men's breakfast.
We're getting together tomorrow. Just me and the guys.
So we're about 3K into the 5K, and he's like, dude, my stomach is not feeling good, man. This is an emergency. I have an emergency on my hands. And as we're coming up on a dorm building, he breaks from the pack and starts full sprinting towards the dorms to get to a restroom as quickly as he can. And there's people like like race organizers like chasing after him, trying to tell him he's going the wrong way. Like he's gonna miss the race. He literally just sprinted into the dorms, ran to the bathroom, and never came out to finish the race. And it just
my God.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
Did you Jesse, the course as it was set up around the campus, did you ever participate in people cutting the course? Like,
I saw attempts, but they cracked down when I was there. They had people patrolling on like mountain bikes to make sure that
we had people patrolling.
Oh my gosh, patrolling on mountain bikes.
We had people patrolling, but there was always a blind spot. You know what I'm saying? And if you could scout it out beforehand, you knew where to go behind that building and not around it. You know what I mean?
If it was possible to cut corners on that race, I would have. They had it. I would have needed like one of those sniper camo suits that with like the net and the grass stuck to it.
They knew you were wily. They tethered you to one of the patrol bikes.
Yeah, exactly. I had my own private escort during that race.
So goes Jesse. So goes all the rapscallions at ORU.
Yeah, exactly.
If we can get the head rapscallion.
Yeah, if you can cut the head off the snake, the body will eventually die.
Yeah. All right. So let us know the last time you kind of went for it. The last time you signed up for an athletic event that put you out of your comfort zone. You had to prepare for it. And how did it go? Hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast. And also you can post the longer stories on the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Well, many thanks to Blinkist for making the episode possible. Remember, right now, for a limited time, Blinkist has a special offer just for Relevant Podcast listeners. Go to Blinkist.com/relevant to start your free 7-day trial. Also, thanks to World Vision. The World Vision Global 6K takes place on May 4th, and the whole Relevant team is running it or walking it. And we'd love for you to join us. Whether you're in Orlando or somewhere else in the country, you can join Team Relevant by visiting worldvision6k.org/relevant. Many thanks to David Curry for joining us. Find out more about their work at Open Doors at opendoors.org, and make sure to read the feature about what's happening in China and the new issue of Relevant, which you can view at relevantmagazine.com or pick up at newsstands nationwide.
Also, thank you to Andrew's pervy dad for the hilarious story today.
The wrestler on streaming services everywhere.
I hate it.
He slowly reached for it, and then when he finally got the remote, he hit the volume button. That's not helping. I said off.
Oscar award winning the wrestler.
Oh, man.
Also, be sure to check out our interview with Mickey Rourke, who started that film in a 2007 issue of Relevant. So
that's true. He was on the cover of Relevant. I remember that. That was a crazy story where he, like, literally the church saved his life. Like a priest saved his life. It was a crazy story. Yeah. Anyway, hey, before we sign off, I want to let you know there is a special sale going on for Relevant Magazine subscriptions for you Relevant podcast fans. The new issue features Jerry Lorenzo on the cover, Joel McHale, Maggie Rogers. There's some amazing content. You don't want to miss it. And if you want to subscribe right now, you can get your first 6 months of Relevant for only $6 when you subscribe at relevantmagazine.com/podfan. Go check it out. We'd love the support. We think you'll really like the magazine as well. Oh, and also, we want to hear from you. If you have 2 minutes, take our quick demographic survey. Head over to relevantmagazine.com/podsurvey. And we want to hear from you. There you go. Okay, on that note, we will wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Chandler Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
Tyler Huckabee.
I'm Annie F. Downs.
We will see you on Tuesday live. Have a great weekend, everyone.
listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
Boom, hot list.
Relevant Podcast Network.